Okay, folks, so here we are in Forza Motorsport for the Xbox Series X. This is their brand new one. I haven't played this one yet. I literally just bought it like yesterday. Just now getting around to it. Because, you know, things are expensive now. We got bills and shit. That's how life is. And I wanted to show this on the Samsung S95D to show you guys what it looks like when you play something like this, you know, made for the next generation, 4K, all that good stuff. And you do so on a TV of this tier. So, out the gate, the first thing I notice is that highlights look really good. I don't think anybody was surprised. It's the Samsung S95D. Nighttime performance, like when I just saw that night scene, like this, ooh, it looks so good. That looks amazing right there. And it's generally pretty sharp and pretty clear. Now, I don't have it on the brightest setting for anybody wondering. I can raise the brightness a bit. It's just in my room right now, it is dark, so I didn't need all of that brightness because this TV is eye-searingly bright. And I think that's something also to note here. We are at the point now in 2024 where we can say an OLED is eye-searingly bright. Now, before I continue with this video, I also want to say for those who feel as though I am very biased towards Samsung or whatever the feeling may be because of the positive nature of how they have performed with their QD OLED line, let me just say this. When it was Hisense on top, everyone thought I was a Hisense shill. When LG had the C1 and I was telling everyone how amazing that was, I was a LG shill. Then when Sony with the X900E had their win, I was sold out by Sony. It will change per who dominates. It's just going to change off. Every year it could be different. Every year it could be the same. Honestly, guys, it's whoever wins. And I honestly don't care one way or another because I'm gonna buy the best. Because while some people get into tribes and go, I'm an LG guy, I'm a Sony guy, I'm a my family guy, okay? All I care about is me and my family above literally everything else. I don't give a damn about any of these companies because they sure don't give a damn about us, right? I mean, for fuck's sake, a 55-inch that's damn near $3,000? Yeah, that's because they care so much, right? I mean, come on, guys. Is that the point where people are going to feel how they're going to feel? And I'm not going to sit here trying to change minds. I will let you figure it out within time if you need to. But I can tell you, rest assured, everything you are seeing here is totally genuine, and there isn't anybody behind the strings pulling any kind of positive rapport. Samsung couldn't buy me if they tried. No one could. So just keep that in mind. Now, that being said, so far as I look at the image, it looks really nice, very enjoyable. I'm doing the first mission here, kind of going off-road. I love these maple trees cascading over the track, very, very beautiful. And the TV is doing a good job of representing that. But I kind of want just a touch more brightness because I feel like it could be just a little bit better. Okay, so I went ahead and raised my brightness up. So now we're rocking higher levels of brightness. I don't know what it's actually going to do for this particular game, but we're going to see. Now I'm wrecking out quite a bit here because I am not a racing champion at all, so just bear with that. Because again, the idea of this video isn't to judge my racing skills, it's to see how the TV looks. And as we can look at the TV as it is, it's pretty incredible in terms of the colors it's able to produce in tandem with the highlights. I do wish, though, there was just that extra uptick in clarity. I don't know if it's stylistically or what, but I am noticing in this scene there is a haze. But, like, again, every time I go through, like, a tunnel where I come out of shadows, it just gets way better on the Samsung S95D. Like, if I have deep black, like, you know, I'm in outer space, or something that's just gonna be black with a lot of small, little bright highlights, the S95D will do fine. But in scenes like this, right, where I have, like, you know, either dawn or dusk, right, and then you've got relatively fog coming through, you know, it's like a relatively foggy day, and then you've got, like, light rays shining through the trees, and so there's kind of like that almost, like, foggy, misty look, you know? It doesn't really handle that kind of stuff well, like the fog on the mountains and stuff like that, like, on the horizon. Like, as I look over there, like, that's hazy. That's not clear or three-dimensional. And some people might argue, well, yeah, it's fog, guy. What do you want? The best resolution on fog? I mean, maybe. And yes, we just hit that same curb at the same speed and crashed twice, even after rewinding. So yeah, let's just go ahead and slow way the hell down, because quite obviously you ain't taking that curb at that speed, hoss. It ain't happening. But either way, you guys can get an idea of what it looks like. I mean, I'm not, again, any kind of champion gamer, so don't ever look for that in me. Not happening. But we can see some of the subtle differences that I'm talking about, hopefully, through YouTube. Now, this scene looks amazing. Like, Jesus, that's beautiful. Like, clarity like you wouldn't believe, color like you wouldn't believe, black levels like you wouldn't believe. Like, this is what I would classify as a perfect image. Looking at what I'm looking at right now, brilliant. And then the text starts looking flat and the colors start looking flat once you get back in-game. So I don't know what happened there, where the photographs look amazing and then the in-game footage is just kind of like meh by comparison to that. And this is how I know it's a software issue, because you're not going to tell me you can have such a high level of picture quality, and then when I get back into the game or back into my content, it just falls short. And I think that's the general feeling that I've had with the S95D since like really using it. It's like, it's a great TV, but ultimately in a lot of ways it does fall short. But again, this is also to show you what it looks like. Okay, so now that we're back in game, colors pick up a little bit better. They're not as perfect as that one photo. That photo was like magic. This is okay though. The colors are very deep, rich, and vibrant, but as we start getting into the blackest part of the image, it's starting to look a lot more fantastic. Colors are popping way the hell more. Then the highlight detail, the added highlight detail of here, the world's brightest OLED, is just blowing my mind right now. And I'm going to tell you right now, like, I enjoy being able to say that, because there was a point in time where we couldn't say OLEDs were inherently bright at all, but this thing being over 2,000 nits by my measurements, which again, they're on the channel, you guys can see them. I mean, it's just incredible that we're here at this point in time with the technology. And again, as I'm driving through this little tunnel thing, like, the lights look really good. Like, really good. Also, for those who might be a little bit more on the stickler side of things, I am crashing a lot and that kind of thing because I'm analyzing this and racing. So I am kind of using two parts of my brain. I'm not just focusing on the game. I am looking at how the algorithm is working on the television, the lights, the color, and how they move in tandem with the processing, what I'm noticing for motion interpolation and things like that. And again, the overall picture rendering in general. And so far, so good. It looks really good. We can see a lot of the reflections from the ray tracing environment. You know, the on-the-track ray tracing in this game being really solid. And the colors, again, being a true treat. I can't really say now that the sun has gone down that I'm not enjoying the experience. Again, like I was saying, anytime it gets really dark, this TV is a gem. Like now, I am having a blast because now we're getting those inky jet black blacks, because you have those on this TV. For those who think it's all lifted black, it's not. And I'm getting the brightness too, and that brightness really is amazing. Now, the other thing I want to note for everybody watching this video is that it's SDR, not HDR, that I'm gaming in. I don't game in HDR. I don't like HDR. That might be like kind of a shock for some people, but I rather stick with something that's more consistent, that can be worked with way easier, and SDR has always been that for me. And I'm telling you, the black levels and the colors and everything now, they're really coming to life in a way that you just don't see very often on pretty much many other TVs out there. And again, this right now is the strongest suit of the S95D, because when you have mostly bright contrasty elements and a few truly dark elements like the sky above us, you know, as we're racing on this track, the track is obviously the focus, the fans, the LED boards, everything. All that is illuminated perfectly. I have no desire for anything else. And then the night sky being as deep and as dark as it is with the fireworks popping off now, like, holy shit, this is a treat. Like, look at that. Like, this is what you buy the S95D for. This experience right here, like, that was truly astonishing. And I think, again, when you have the ability to have this experience like that, that's what I want to document as well. Because again, it's not always negative, it's not always bad, there are just good and bad things about it. Like now the sun coming in, you can see the light shining in. It, like, looking at this car right now, it's a treat. Like, it really does feel like you're watching some like photorealistic car demo, like some expo of some, I don't know, like some tech demo at C3 or what, E3. Like, they don't even do those anymore, but still. So I'm gonna select my avatar here. We're gonna select our clothes and see what we want. I like to go back up to the top to see all my options. Kind of digging this one right here, the orange, the gray, and the black. I would ask you guys which one, but I'm not live on this, so there's kind of no point in doing that because it would just be comments. I mean, you guys could also tell me what you chose if you have this game, what looked the best to you. That's kind of cold too. I like the blue there. You know, the red ain't bad. Yeah, that blue's ugly. The black. Hey, that's kind of clean too, though. They've got a couple of looks. Okay, I'll give them that, but I'm sure we'll get more. So I'm going to start with this one. Never doubt your first instinct or your first feeling. And my first feeling on this is the orange and the black. That's just for me right now. So we're going to open it up, and we're going to be in this car show thing, I guess. Show floor. So the lighting in this game is just really good too, though. Like Forza, the Turn 10 Studios folks did a great job of making sure that you had all of the illumination where you would want it to be. And I mean, it really is truly looking like a treat right now. Like, as I'm looking at each car they illuminate, it looks brilliant. Can't really say I want for too much as I'm looking at it. Love the brightness coming in off of the board, the billboard thing there. You know. Just looking at everything right now, doesn't look bad. So far, so good is what I'll say to that. Again, I'm no expert or anything like that, but... Okay, so we're going to pick from our cars as we always do. Okay. You have a Subaru. You have a white Honda Civic. Yeah, that's literally never fucking happening ever in a million years. I will go Mustang. And then we've got this. Yeah, this is clean as hell. Okay, not bad, not bad.
All right, let's go. Here is where you create your best possible racing experience by adjusting the difficulty and rule set.
Yeah, I want the easiest possible.
Try raising the difficulty to earn even more credits to buy other cars.
Yeah, that's great. I'm not at the point where I can do much of anything. I don't really know. Make your opponents faster. Total difficulty of 2% on the credits. I don't care. I want it as easy as possible because I am not very good with the whole simulated damage thing and all that crap. I just want to relax, man. I really do. I have a hard enough life. I contest life is hard enough that we don't need to sit here in a game and hard time ourselves. But as I look at it, it looks decent. The foliage now on the trees, fuzzy, not detailed, not sharp at all. No, like it looks very muddy now. So I'm not really seeing the sharpness. And so we're just gonna start practice and just get in. Now I don't also know if the fuzziness is just because of the pre-baked footage that they have for this kind of screenshot, but this is all very blurry, very hazy, like super hazy. I know there's supposed to be fog in this scene, but I also feel like this TV, when there's a fog filter or expression in a movie or a video game set piece, it is exasperated to a destructive degree to the point where it just looks like trash. That's just what I think. Man, they sure do a lot of talking in this game. Less talking, more action. I mean, come on. I don't want to hear you talk the whole time. So come on. All right, let's go. I'm not very good, especially because I don't really know how this new game works, but we'll do it. I really do hate when they put fog in games, particularly over the track like this. I mean, I don't like those kind of filters in general. It makes things hazy for obvious reasons, but the S95D, it's really struggling right now to maintain a separation of three-dimensional objects. So the tents in the background, the guardrails, the separation of the trees from the tracks line, the horizon, it's struggling to render that three-dimensional depth as it should. And I think that's one of the things that really get on my nerves. Now, what it is doing a good job on is making sure that everything from the general area where the car is driving looks good, like the track around the car and everything within that immediate area. I think that's what it's focusing on the most to give us that contrast, and it really is popping very well there. But in terms of everything else, it's just kind of meh. And the reason why I try to focus on those kind of details is because, again, this year they're talking about upscale everything to 4K. And then we are also talking about, you know, AI upscaling of a new 4K engine. And they really did make it sound very good. But in practice, again, I can't really say that you get that all the time, if it even works at all and isn't just something they put down on a piece of paper. Because truthfully speaking, on this particular set, I don't feel any real difference opposed to, say, like the Samsung S95D in terms of clarity. In fact, you have less clarity. So what good is an AI upscaler for if you can't even give me way more sharpness than, at this point, a 2-year-old flagship? It just doesn't make any sense. And I don't know, that's one of my sore points with this. But again, as the sun starts to go down in this particular race, or I've reached more shadowy areas of the map, then I notice that things start looking a little bit better and things of that nature. But I've never really also done really well with things that are arcadey, like the very structured, you've got a race here, this very particular, like, you know, S-turn, and you got to do all this shit. It's irritating for me, so I guess that's also something I'm struggling with in game too. But hopefully, even with me struggling a bit, you can see enough of this to kind of gauge it, because it's so difficult to try to come up with like an answer as to like what's better or what's worse when you don't have anything to compare it to. So I'm trying to give you guys as many comparables as I possibly can. And again, this is just one of many of the games we'll be showcasing. If there is a game that you want to see, let me know, and if I have it, I will put it up on the screen for you guys, because again, you're spending an awful lot of money, and let's cut the crap and be very real with one another. Nobody is buying a $3,000 television to just watch TV. That is something that the elderly do, and most people that spend that kind of money aren't elderly or from that generation. I'm sorry, it's reality at this point. Most people spending that kind of money want the cutting edge of home theater entertainment, which looks like movies and video games. It's not TV shows, it's not streaming services. Most of us are gamers, and we're buying in so we can see our ray tracing and our extra power from our Xbox Series X or our PCs or our PS5s or whatever we bought, you know, our Nintendo Switch 2s when they come out, right? Because come on, let's be real, almost everybody watching this video is gonna buy one, and we're gonna fucking, you know, take advantage of what we paid for. And I think, again, you want to see that on the best TV possible. So I think, again, looking at it objectively, it's not a bad TV. Obviously, the price point is ridiculous. I think this TV needs to come down to $17.99. I think at $17.99, it's a fair price. The $16.99 to $17.99 price point. I think anything more than that is kind of excessive, just simply because of the nature of what we run into. I mean, throughout this video, I've listed off numerous amounts of compromises and things that you're just going to have to be okay with. And that's not really something that everybody's good with. I know myself included. I don't really like having to take, you know, compromises like that. So I don't know. It just depends on the person, I guess. Because again, I have people that'll be like, I don't really care. The matte finish screen works well for my environment. And if that's the case, okay, great. But like, I'm mostly always in a dark room anyway, and I always turn my lights off. So I don't really think or believe they needed to do this to the screen. I think it hurt more than it helped. But that's, again, my approach or perspective. Now, out the gate, because we are on the track during the sun time, or the, you know, almost high noon looking time. It's not really high noon. It looks like it's about 2-3 o'clock outside, and I'd lean more closer to 3 o'clock, you know, given the juxtaposition of the sun. But that's besides the point. It looks more sunny out. And now that we're on the track in those conditions, I'm noticing a lot more shadows, and those shadows are giving way to more contrast on the television. The Samsung S95D looking immaculate, incredible even, and the highlight detail, as I'm noticing little glimmers and shimmers coming off of each car, the windshield, the rear windshield, and things like that. It does look really good. Now this asshole just knocked me off track, and then I get an off-track warning. It's like, great, but you know, he's the one bumping into me. But all right, sure, let's just give me the off-track warning, not him the fuck you, you're an asshole warning. But you know, anyway, I'm just gonna do a wider turn, that way dick face over here can get through, because seriously, what the hell was that? Anyway, driving as we are, again, it's a circuit race, nothing too exciting, But one thing that I am not noticing is as I'm driving, like, I'm not noticing like the textures explode or like, you know, oh my god, like shake me to my core or like make me like go jaw dropping mad over the thing. Now, I will be fair and tell you I am in the performance RT version of this game. I am not in performance and I am not in quality. I decided to have my 60 FPS but also have some RT on it, so again, that might be why we aren't seeing the textures. So again, I will do a comparable where I can, you know, on my own time, obviously not in this video, check to see if it's the resolution thing and change that if need be. But I mean, right now I think where we are is a good point, and that's not going to affect the brightness, black levels, or colors. Which honestly, when you really, I mean, boil down a TV review and to see how good a TV is, most TVs can be reviewed in literally probably like 30 seconds to a minute with the right content up, because TVs consist of only 4 real main target areas. And again, that is color, black levels, brightness, and motion. Those are the only real things that matter on a TV. Everything else is a bonus, like speakers. You can always buy a sound system. User interface, yeah, I mean, you would rather it be great and responsive and fantastic, but honestly speaking, once you have your TV set, you can always buy a separate box like an Xbox console or a PS5, and most people do that shit anyway. So it's kind of to the point where it's like, I don't know, I'm gonna crash this white Honda Civic just because it's a white Honda Civic, and let's hope we get it off the road. Good, we killed them. Great, fantastic. I've accomplished my goal. Anyway, that's more of a personal thing, just never mind on that. But anyway, moving on from that, I have to do stuff like that in games because I just feel like it. But, you know, and I think, again, when we look at the picture quality, it speaks volumes. It really does. I mean, look at it. It's not bad, but it's hard though, because I want to say it's good, but it's not good either. It's not fantastic and great. It's somewhere in the middle between all of those, and that's where I get salty, because I'm like, it's like potential unrealized. That's the best way I could describe the S95D, and gaming on it right now, that's what it feels like. It feels like unutilized potential, like I'm so close to something that would be truly epic and fantastic because of the brightness, and in some instances with the contrast, but then in others, I feel like it's just incredibly weak because I'm like, well, what in the actual hell? Like, it's really dark. Like, it's not giving me what I need in certain areas. And when I say really dark, I mean, like, again, the black levels are dark, but it's not giving me, I don't know how to explain it, guys. I really don't. Like, it's just not. Let's see if I can go in the cockpit and show you. Like, yes, it has contrast, but it doesn't give you the illumination that you'd expect with the, like, for example, the cluster gauges. They're not as bright as I would hope them to be for something that, again, is over a 2000 nit TV. And this is where I feel like, again, there's a small practical highlight. I think, and you're using AI should know that I'm inside of a cockpit of a car, brighten up the damn cluster gauges and don't leave them dim and dark. Because, come on, like, what the hell, right? And I feel like these are the little things that just kind of vex me with this TV. Again, there's no such thing as a perfect TV, and maybe my standards are a bit too high for this modern age, but I'd like to believe in 2024 we could do something simple like that. But again, it's just all those little things that kind of bug me. But then again, I mean, really, most people aren't ever going to go this far in depth and to be this nitpicky, I suppose. I guess that's just a me thing, but I don't know, I suppose I have my way of thinking about certain things. Either way, it's all right. I mean, I do wish, like, for text especially, it had more contrast. And the only way you get more contrast is by throwing away brightness. You know, it sucks. Your arms are kind of tied, and there's not really a whole lot that you can do. And that's kind of what upsets me the most. I really don't like that that's just how it is, but it is what it is. Okay, so we go on to the next event. I'm probably not going to go to the next event. I'm probably just going to exit. But you guys were able to see a lot of what this could look like within the 21 minutes that we did this. I don't want it to go on too long past that. But either way, I mean, again, it's a bittersweet, I feel. And again, this is just the real gaming feeling, right? Like, you look at certain things and you're like, that's amazing. And then in the same instance, you'll look at others and you'll be like, you know, I'm not really as impressed as I would have liked to be. I would have wanted to see more, and sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. Again, for example, you're in the dark behind this car, it's gonna look good. But once you start getting into more like hazy, foggy scenery and things like that, it'll look problematic. Another way that the TV looks amazing is if you have something really bright, like the really bright window back there. The TV, again, it doesn't meter the brightness and the darkness in an inappropriate way. So that's bright, but that is super dark because it's recognizing, oh, there's contrast, stark contrast. I need to make the dark really dark. See, like, I feel like it should be this level of black, but all the time, including when I come around here to the back of the car, it should always be as jet black. I mean, they're trying not to crush blacks because they've always received that feedback on, the mainstream darlings reviews, but I really feel like they should listen to this feedback. Make your highlights bright where they need to. Like, for example, here on the window, that should be extremely bright because that's what it would be in real life. As light bounces through windows, it's tight and sharp, and that reflection and highlight is always going to be really sharp. Where here, it's blurry and fuzzy and kind of gradated out and correct. This sunlight is supposed to be really bright. It's not. Incorrect. These little things, it bugs me. This on the hood of the car, it's supposed to be really bright. It looks like that on camera, but it's not as bright as it should be. Incorrect. And as it gets to the point in all of this, the reality is most people are not going to think like that when they look at TVs. But again, I'm also somebody sitting here with what is a $3,000 television, essentially, and the expectations are of that of a customer spending that kind of money. I want every little petty, seemingly petty, right, minute detail and difference put out there for me to see, and I want to experience it all. And that's just kind of how it is. If you're going to charge me premium prices, I'm going to behave like a premium customer. Now, this TV was like $1,000. This would be one of the best TVs ever. I wouldn't say shit about it. I'd glow about it to no end and be like, oh, this is so fucking amazing. This is wonderful, because that's the expectation set within class of the $1,000 price range. At $2,599 plus tax, the expectations are much fucking higher. And I'm sorry to say, like, as a gamer, like, they are not giving me that experience. This is the experience of a $1,500 TV, and that's honest. And I don't know that people are going to be that honest with you, but this is like $1,500 picture quality, because I've seen $3,000 picture quality, right? And this is not it. That being said, though, I want to thank you guys so much for watching the #1 Brandon Honesty. Again, if you have another game you want me to show you, let me know in the comments down below. And until the next video, I'll see you guys later.